Hi everyone, Dr. Jeff Galini, and welcome back to another episode of Ask the Scientist. This show's about busting myths, bringing you the truth. So I get a lot of questions that come in from high school kids, junior high kids, and this was one that I thought was very, very interesting. Andy writes in and says, Dr. Jeff, I am a high school football player and have been following you for some time. Thanks for all the great info. I shared your post and book that you sent me with my coach. He said I should not listen to you for you're nothing more than a musclehead and know nothing about football. What can I tell him? Oh, Andy. I guess tell him that he needs to go find a new job. Before you shoot your mouth off, you ought to do a little bit of research. I'll bet I played more football than your coach. I'm a high school All-American, all-conference, captain, leading scorer, high school football player. I played running back and outside linebacker. I went on to play 4 years of college football. I lettered 4 years. I played outside linebacker, voted best conditioned athlete. An injury in my the spring of my senior year hindered me from going to an NFL tryout, which was always my lifetime goal, was to play in the NFL. And that summer, I was depressed because, again, this was my goal ever since I could remember, was to play in the NFL. And the guys at my local YMCA talked me into entering this bodybuilding show. I won it and got hooked on bodybuilding, and that's how I got into bodybuilding. So, you know, coaches who don't really do their homework, you know, I played high school basketball. I played 1 year of high school or college basketball. I played high school track. I played 1 year of college track. I powerlifted, was a state champion powerlifting. I had a successful 10-year bodybuilding career. So I have been involved with a lot of sports. I also coached. I coached basketball for years and years and years. I coached football. I've coached bodybuilding. I've coached powerlifting. I've coached a little bit of soccer. Again, you know, I've been around athletics literally my whole life. My very first competition was 4th grade track and field. So I've been competing since I was in the 4th grade. And when I retired from bodybuilding, that was back around 1992. You know, I continued to be involved in health and fitness, coaching, training, nutrition, supplementation, you name it. So that's what you can tell your coach is I do know what I'm talking about. I do know about football. I do know what you need to eat. And I believe, if I recall, I sent you out one of my books called Building a Lean, Mean Muscle Machine. And in there, I have kind of a high school weight gain plan that I recommended that you take a look at because you were trying to put on some good muscle. And I also sent you one of my training books, which kind of gave you a lot of different exercises and different training programs. I don't care what sport you're training for, you know, again, training, diet are the same. Now, you might have, depending on your goals, you're going to do different types of exercises, heavy reps, you know, you're going to adjust your diet somewhat, but those are the two things that all athletes have in common. You know, you need to be on a good training plan and a good meal plan. So you can trust me. I do have the credentials. So that's what you can tell your coach. Tell him I'd love to have a conversation with him and watch him win the gold medal for the backstroke. All right, Andy, you take care, man. And thanks for following. And you know what? I'm going to send you out a little care package just because that was such an awesome question. And I know how hard it is sometimes for a young high school person to ask an adult a question. So I'm going to send you out a cool little care package, shaker cup, t-shirt. You'll like it. Take care, my friend, and God bless.